Hi, I'm Chloe, and you have landed here because you have heard about our free kit. So we have sent this out to thousands of people to encourage them to start their embroidery journey. And we do that because we know how much it improves people's lives and their mental health and their just general happiness. And we know this because we have received hundreds of emails from customers telling us about how this has happened. It's not just embroidery, it's making, it's crafting, it's doing anything that is away from your screen and is using your hands and is encouraging you to be a bit creative or try something new. All of these things make us happier. So today we want to prove this to you. We would love you to have a go at this kit and see if it works for you. So I'm going to tell you how to make the kit, what you get in the kit, and how to get started and how to get finished.
So this is what you're going to get in your box. You get your instructions which take you through the project step by step. You're going to get some thread and your printed fabric. You also get your hoop and a needle, and then there's a cardboard backing disc and some wadding, which will show you later on in the video how to use that when you've finished your hoop. So the first thing to do is get your fabric into your hoop nice and tight. So you put the smaller ring on a table and lay over the fabric, then press down the bigger ring. Now you want to get this really nice and tight, so pull the fabric gently to make it tighter and then tighten the screw. And just keep doing that until the fabric is nice and tight. You can still see the crease on mine here. You could give yours a little iron if you wanted to get that crease out. But if you get the fabric nice and tight, you should be able to get that crease out too. The tighter the hoop, the easier it is going to be to embroider, and it's just a nicer experience to embroider onto really tight fabric. So now we're going to get our thread, and we're going to cut a strand of about 40 centimetres. And then a really important thing is we are going to split our thread. So embroidery thread comes in one strand, but within that strand there are 6 smaller strands. And we are going to split our thread into 3 strands. So you split the thread in half. You can see the little strands there, and just gently pull away the amount of strands that you want. And we're going to use 3 strands and thread our needle with those strands. It just gives you a thinner line. If you want a thicker line, you could use all 6 strands. It would just give you a chunkier look. Now I'm tying a knot at the bottom of my thread here. I like to tie 2 knots, and then I'm leaving that loose, and we've got the tail at the top there, so don't tie a double knot in your thread. So this project is stitched with a back stitch, which is very simply coming up through the fabric and back down about 2-3 millimeters from where you started. The second stitch, you come up about 2-3 millimeters away from that stitch and go back down into the hole that the first stitch made. So I'm coming up again, the size of a stitch away, and then going back down with my needle through the end of the last stitch. So you're using the same hole really to kind of go back down in. That's why it's called back stitch. So you stitch the whole project using back stitch, and I'm just showing you here, once you've finished a length of thread, you just need to tie a knot at the back, and I hold my finger down and I do 2 knots again. Just press against the fabric and pull your thread. That'll make your knot nice and close to the fabric. So the same goes for the petals. You are just doing a back stitch, so 1 2 to 3 millimeter stitch, then come up about 2 to 3 millimeters away and back down through the last hole, kind of where the last stitch ended. That way you don't get any gapping through on your line of stitching. It just is one lovely long smooth line of stitching. So just complete the kit in this way. So follow the lines, the printed lines, and fill it with back stitch. The eyes of the flower are the only thing that are stitched slightly differently, so I'll show you that. We're going to do 1 long stitch down the middle and then 2 shorter stitches either side of that long stitch, and that will just give you that impression of a kind of a denser filled bit of fabric, and it will perfectly fill the shape of the eye. So once you've finished your stitching, we are going to go on to backing the hoop. So to finish off the hoop, once you've done all the stitching, you need to trim the excess fabric to around 2 centimetres around the edge of the hoop. And then you need to cut the wadding to the same shape as the cardboard disc that is in your pack. And that's going to go in the back of the embroidery. And you're going to then push your fabric down, the excess fabric down, and then just push in the cardboard disc. This is the right size to just push in and secure that wadding and loose fabric nicely.
So I hope that helps. I hope you found it relaxing and not stressful. If you did, so many more things to help you use craft and embroidery as a mental health tool. Our favourite one being our embroidery subscription box, because not only do you get a kit every 3 months to focus on and to use as that thing that is your me time, your 5 minutes a day to chill out, but you get a community of other people that are doing that as well, who interact and support each other on the private Facebook group. It's a wonderful community full of people like you who are using and enjoying embroidery. So we hope you loved it. If you have any questions, please reach out. The best thing to do is email info@cottonclara and we will do our best to help you.